Erich, Gail of Cardinale Group of Companies joining us right now at the Innovative Dealer Summit in beautiful Denver, Colorado. Erich, I know that you're fresh off of a great presentation here. Let's dive into that for just a minute. Talk about what you were speaking on here today.
The mission of our presentation today was really meant to inspire and invigorate dealers within this conference to look at and to zero in on a zero-moment retail science. Yeah. The very process by which we as retailers can remove ourselves from being subject to and become very proactive. Yeah. Reserving the right to be able to lead our stores and manage our investments the way that we choose in order to achieve in-market buyer conquest sales.
And one of the things that you talked about with me before we jumped on camera here was the amount of marketing spend that's being done on the zero moment of truth and what is not being done right now. Let's talk about that here for just a second. What do dealers need to focus on when it comes to the zero moment of truth?
Well, when you look at the studies that say that our average of a new car sale has an advertising spend of approximately $650 per, we find that to be totally atrocious. For us, there are segmentations of the process in the road to the sale where consideration and stimulus phase represents currently 93% of our active digital spend as an industry, leaving the zero moment, the actual moment where I have already defined what I want and why I want it. The biggest question is, where am I going to get it? Therein lies the place that we have weaponized an entire strategy to focus on that in-market buyer, so much in fact that we've taken the discipline and the science that we have learned and developed as an automotive group, and we have formulated our own company that works with dealerships around the country, ZMod Auto, and that is the very bridge and reality of where that science comes to pass.
And your organization as well, Cardinale, is really right there at the forefront when it comes to dealerships with e-dealerships, I believe. You guys are top 5 in the country, I believe.
We are.
Talk about that and where you guys are heading.
We hope to be heading to number 4 and possibly to number 3, but we'll let the statisticians decide that.
Sure.
You know, for us, we began a transformational process in 2011. That really took what is, you know, a wonderful automotive group. We are so truly blessed with incredible leadership and associates throughout our group in California and Arizona. But we decided, again, that we did not want to be subject to. We don't want to be subject to the market. We don't want to be subject to economic conditions, be them aggressive or contracting. And we wanted to focus on our singular brand and be able to provide us with the opportunity to weaponize our own strategies. And so we began this process, the result of which brought us to the place where we became the number 7 from what was easily number 10,000. Yeah, right. We were off the grid to number 7 to now number 5, and our hope, of course, is number 4 or number 3.
Yeah, you're definitely moving in the right direction, and because of that, so many other dealerships out there are turning to you for guidance. Let's talk about some of the best practices that you're looking forward to in 2015 and even beyond, some of the things that you're looking to do for your dealership group that other dealers might be a little bit late to the party on, yet still are very important.
Well, the first and foremost in our belief system is that we reserve the right. We're the dealer, we're the investor, we're the financier, we are the one who is 100% responsible for the deliverables of everything within our brands and the shadows of our brands.
Sure.
We are responsible to provide opportunities for our customers and our clients and the communities we serve, our associates, and everybody in between. With that being said, what I typically encourage of a dealership and an owner, a general manager, is to remember that you reserve the right. It's your store, it's your brand, and you are 100% responsible. Do not find yourself at any point being subject to anything that is not in alignment with what your goals and objectives are. So we break it down organizationally within our automotive group into 5 singular commitments that are a management-driven culture for us. These are non-negotiables.
Okay.
We value our CRM as the nucleus of all things within every transaction that we manage. We utilize an inventory control platform and an investment tool to ensure that our cost to market and our market strategy from a retail standpoint places us number 1 or number 2 in our respective markets. We value phone skills and the ability to master that as a zero moment requirement. Obviously, think about how much money we spend to make our phones ring. We need to be masterful on the phones.
That's a great point.
We value and support and invest heavily in continuous improvement training for our associates and our managers that does not just focus on being a better retailer, not just focusing on being a better service writer or sales associate or finance associate. We want people to be better husbands and wives and sons and daughters. To us, it's a family commitment throughout our organization. And the last, of course, is our commitment to zero moment retail.
Right. And talk about that training here for just a second. I mean, that's a specialized kind of training. That's not your everyday, I'm going to be a better sales associate. Like you said, training in that regards has got to be a little bit different. Where do you get training like that to create better people, not just retailers, but better people at your dealership?
So we are, as a group, we are voracious readers. It is not uncommon for us to have 2-3 books running at any given time. Joe Cardinelli, who is our founder and our president, is extremely active in the leadership of personal development. He is such an incredible beacon of what it really means to carry the responsibility of a relationship with the men and women and families that we serve. And so with that being said, he will and we will collectively select a book for the entire group to be studied over the following quarter. And this is not just for senior leadership, this is for every position from the highest rungs to parts drivers and everyone in between. We cascade that down in order to allow for that relationship and that sharing into what is typically a chapter a week, and then small individual departmental or cross-departmental book groups and studies where our belief system is that if you just hear it, you only retain a single-digit percentage of the information. If you write it down, that can then transition into upwards of 20+%. Okay? But if you hear it, write it down, and teach it, you now have the ability to truly seat a life-changing skill or a mindset or a discipline.
Yeah, and that's a great mentality to have, not only for an automotive company, but for any company out there. I mean, that's a great mentality for training your team. Before we let you go here, I want to ask you this. What does that do for your recruiting? What kind of salespeople, technicians, managers are you out there looking for, especially with this kind of training? I got to imagine that's quite a recruitment tool.
It is a recruitment tool, but it is also something that, for us, our brand and our brand promise of every Cardinelli company is quite simply that we develop outstanding relationships where everybody wins. Now, with all that being said, we are not an easy place to work for, and the reality is that we don't want to be. So the aspiration that we hold to our would-be candidates is that we are a family who are focused on outstanding relationships where everybody wins, that we will provide you with the support and the tools and the systems and the processes to be extremely successful in exchange for your commitment to honor that same relationship and give us your very best.
Yeah, that's mentality that seems to be working for you as the company just continues to grow, especially in the automotive space. You guys right there as one of the leaders when it comes to privately owned dealership groups. All right, so Eric, we greatly appreciate the time here today. Thanks so much for this insight. We greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.